Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Average Movie Review Podcast. I finished watching Invincible season 4. Episode 7, whichever episode, the last episode of the season. A few thoughts here and there. This was a quiet episode, not much action in that sense. It was more of a reflective episode, just going over the actions or the consequences of what they did, pretty much. Basically, Mark has this fear that the Viltrumites have invaded Earth and they've gone to destroy Earth, but in fact that they haven't. They return back to Earth in a rush, only to find out that nothing has happened to Earth. Earth is completely safe. They can't seem to find any of the Viltrumites, and I think that scares Mark even more. While doing that, Mark comes to the realization that he has a lot of PTSD. He keeps having these weird visions of Thride coming out of nowhere and killing everyone he loves, and it's freaking the shit out of him. It's giving him a severe amount of anxiety at the same time. One thing this episode does really well is that Mark comes to terms with this, I guess, anxiety and PTSD, and he asks Cecil for help, which is something typically I don't think he does normally, but it's very cool that, he comes to this realization before it's too late and he asks for the help that he needs. There's a great moment between Cecil and Nolan that happens where Cecil pretty much tells him to fuck off, and Nolan's like, "I'm trying here," and Cecil's like, "It's too bad. Like, just get off this planet. Like, we don't want you here, right?" Which also kind of sucks because you kind of see that Nolan is trying, and my biggest fear is that throughout this, hopefully, like throughout this kind of redemption arc, he doesn't go back to who he was because people aren't accepting him for or I guess they're not forgiving him for what he did. What he did is, of course, unforgivable, but you see him trying. I'm not saying that they need to be all la-di-da, but at least give the man a chance, right? To make amends for it, and he's trying his best. But there is a little bit of hope because Debbie is going back to with him to I guess the Coalition of Plants or Themyscira, to pretty much take care of Oliver, and he's very happy about that, low key, and it gives him a little hope that Debbie might be even interested in maybe potentially getting back with him, or like able to at the very least forgive him, and hopefully maybe even have like a normal relationship. um what else happens in this show? They kind of, he goes back with Eve. Eve tells him she was pregnant, which caused her to lose her powers for a little bit, and then she had all her powers come back, which kind of makes you think that most likely she had an abortion, which she did, which was very sad. Mark, instead of kind of freaking out and going like, "How come you didn't?" He was supportive. He sat with her and like told her it's all good and everything. She's clearly depressed, right? She's gained a little bit of weight. She doesn't know what to do. She's focusing on all the other different things, and you know, Mark being supportive is probably the best thing he can do at this moment, right? Especially when people are going through depression, you want to be there for them however you can. It doesn't matter what type of, way you are there. As long as you're there, they noticed, right? So that was a nice little sentiment. And then Alan is pretty much dealing with everything that's going else around the world, around the universe, pretty much. He is now in Thaddeus's position, and he's pretty much taking care of everything, and he's just hating every second of it. I don't blame him. It's a lot of shit. But yeah, and then I think so far, like, the episode was good. It was a really small, like, kind of like a low key episode. You're just kind of relaxed. You're just kind of watching everything unfold, and then they hit you with the biggest twist possible, which is that Throg was actually on planet Earth the entire time, and that he is pretty much here to stay. And he's told Invincible that you have a choice. You either let us stay and let us breed with humans so that we can pretty much repopulate, or you can go to war with us and we destroy your entire planet in a mere matter of seconds. Invincible at first says no, but then with his PTSD, he kind of agrees to the terms, and Throg disappears, and Throg says, "I will never see you again. This is the last time we meet." Knowing that the Viltrumites are out there around the world, which is absolutely insane. Um, This is dangerous. This is a very dangerous thing. I think this is obviously not going to end well. I don't know how Mark's going to take it. I don't know if he's even going to tell anyone, which he automatically should because that's the right thing to do. I understand you're going through something, but you really do need to tell someone about this. Call his dad back. Maybe even go to war. Just call all 40 of 37 of them and fucking go to war and kill all of them. Who knows? I don't know what to do, but he needs to do something. And I think the one thing I I'm kind of not, I guess, not liking, but not like on board with about this show is the one theme that the main character has to go through something consistently. And like for a lot of heroes, yeah, heroes have to fall in order to rise. And I feel like Mark has done that multiple times throughout the last 3 or 4 seasons. Again, I've never read the comic. I don't know if that's the whole point of this comic. It's just like, the whole point is he just suffers and then eventually there's like, he just kind of makes it out barely alive. He's invincible, right? But I think I'm kind of done with that. I think I'm ready. Like, I think he's ready to be invincible now. What I want to see is like, I want to see him take charge of who he is, right? And whether that's a man that ends up killing his villains or whether that's a man who ends up being really strong and able to fight his villains, whatever it is, I just want to see it happen. And I hope that this whole thing of him kind of being scared and like going through all of this and this whole idea that he still needs to suffer a little bit more kind of ends in season 5, right in the beginning, not like throughout the middle. I just wanted to kind of like one episode and then he's ready and we're ready to go back and like again do an all-out war, kill all the Viltrumites. Even if he dies, like I'm happy with that because I think that really gives his character a proper ending in that sense. He was able to sacrifice himself for the greater good. But I just feel like he's always suffering or always going through something, and that's not fair to him. I feel like, it's like, I guess it's like Spider-Man in that sense too, right? Like, Peter Parker's always going through something. There's always some shit he's got to deal with. But I feel like there's a lot more happiness when it comes to Peter Parker than there is with Mark. Mark just seems to be going through like the worst of the worst things possible. And I just feel terrible for him. But I feel like I'm ready for him to grow. I'm ready for him to be better. And I really do hope that he's able to kind of come to his senses by next season and end this before it gets much, much worse. But yeah, that was pretty much season 4. I thought season 4 was pretty okay. It was good. I liked the last half more than I liked the beginning half. I really enjoyed all the battles. I thought all the fights and everything were absolutely fire, absolutely amazing. Some great acting too. Sandra Oh did an amazing job as well. J.K. Simmons is like absolutely amazing. Come on, that guy's phenomenal. And Stephen Yeun too. He provided an amazing portrayal of the character as well. So um yeah, I'm super excited for season 5. I hope it comes out soon, and I hope it comes out a little bit. I guess like in my sense, like for my opinion, like I hope it comes out better than it did for the first half of season 4. I just felt like season 4 was dragging up until the middle, and then finally it really picked up. I hope they don't make that mistake. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.